Hello, my name is Owen, and welcome to an overview of my reading journey for the month of July 2024. It's the end of the month. The month is done, but our reading fun has just begun. We're back. I feel like I've been gone, right? I've been posting videos, though. I've been posting reviews of the books as I finish them, but I've been here, but I've not been here. You know what I mean? Not this version anyway. Not the fun that we're gonna have today. Me, right? I've just been doing my reviews, coming out, reading some books, having a grand old time. But you know what? It's time to up the ante a little bit, right? Let's get back into a banta, right? Let's have a little bit of fun. Why don't we? It was a fantastic month. It played out almost exactly how I expected it to, which is a rare thing that ever happens. So basically, what we were doing, we went hard on the Book of the New Sun series. We finished those books with an asterisk. We finished them. And then we finished the audiobook we were listening to. We finished the book we said we were going to read. We read an extra book in there for a total, a grand record. First of all, let's get the non-record number out of the way. 1,481 pages in the month. Better than months previous. Nowhere near our peak of the year. I think we crested 2,000 a couple times early on in the year. Whatever, 1,400 pages. It could be worse. Could certainly be worse. A world record for me, 5 books finished this month. And they say I don't read anymore. They say I've lost the ability to read. Fools, all of them. I've only begun to peak, right? It's an exponential growth from here, folks. We thought, we reached the halfway point of the year. We read our halfway point of goal of 40 books. We could just coast for the rest of the year. Nay, I say. Say it ain't so. I'm going to crush this book reading goal. Dare I say, my goal was 40. Perhaps I'll crest 50. I'll topple 60. Maybe I'll even sniff 70. Okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it could happen. Crazier things could be done, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. It depends. It depends on my strategy is going into the second half of the year. Because you know what? This month was a unique month, and I'll go over the books that I read this month first. Like I said, we finished Book of the New Sun. We read Sword of the Lictor and Citadel of the Autarch. Then we finished our audiobook Midnight Feast. We snuck in a little finance book, Die with Zero. And then we finished When the Bow Breaks by Jonathan Kellerman. And that review will be coming out shortly because I literally just finished it. It was a late night reading session. Aren't those great? A late night reading session. It was getting to the point of the crime thriller where it's starting to thrill you. And you know what? You just can't put the book down. I think I stayed up to like 1 a.m. finishing that book. Wild. But anyway, that review will be coming out shortly. But my approach this month, and I said this in my What I'm Going to Be Reading video, was to commit to the series first of all, but then read a couple short books, right? Rather than tackling a long monster fantasy. Really and I stuck to that brilliantly. The only failure I would say I had this month was that I didn't make a ton of progress on my Malazan reread, which, hey, tell me something I don't know, right? Owen says he's going to read Malazan, and then he reads it as slow as a turtle. Listen, it's coming around, okay? It's coming back around. I finished there were some books in this month that I had to get done this month. I had to get them done. And I did get them done, and I did read a little bit of Malazan as well. I think I probably read around between 50 and 100 pages of Malazan. So you know what? No shame on me, okay? That the Midnight Tides is a great book, but it'll get done when it gets done because I've already read it. You know what? Time moves at a blistering pace, okay? It does. It really, truly does. But reading these shorter books, and I predicted this, but it just instilled me with a new energy. And I cannot recommend enough. If you feel like you're in a reading slump, you're reading too many books of the same genre or / the same length. I was reading too many big fantasy books at the same time. So the fact that I just went bang, 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 crime thriller, mystery, finance, weird experimental sci-fi fantasy, short versions, it just put my brain in a great place. And I felt like I read a lot. Obviously, my page numbers are down, but those page numbers only crest 2,000. Is crest even the right word? What do I keep saying? Why is that the word of the day today? Exactly what I was saying. Sorry, that engine noises kept getting louder. I had to stop. But what was I saying? You can't cut and then not know what you're saying. It breaks the flow of the video. It breaks the flow of the video because the people experience the cut in real time. What I was saying was these short books really just got me into a rhythm, and all of the books that I read this month were very, very good. talking about Book of the New Sun, just to put a bookend on that little saga there. Obviously, the first one was our book of the month for the month of June, and I kind of got like in the zone, you know, and I had to finish that series out. I read the main 4, and I decided, it was a great debate, I decided not to read Earth of the New Sun. I had it checked out, I had it in my hand, I could have started it, and I had time to finish it before I was due at the library, but I decided not to. There was conflicting arguments. Some people said you have to read it. It's the proper conclusion. Other people said you don't have to read it. You should be rereading the 4 books before you get to that one. At the end of the day, I just followed my gut. It just didn't feel right to read it, if that makes sense. Because, and I talked about this from review of the book, the book is very almost meta in that the author is the character who's talking to you. And he told me to reread the books before thinking about it any further. And quite frankly, I think I got to trust him. So I don't know when I'm going to reread those 4 books, because obviously I dedicated to basically a month and a half to reading those 4. But perhaps a reread is incoming in a few months, maybe in a few years. I have no idea, but it was a very unique reading journey, and I think I got to retread it before I go on to that ending. It just didn't feel right to read that book. And you know what? I may be wrong, but you know what? It feels right. Moving on from there, Midnight Feast, if you guys saw my review of that, a great ensemble audiobook reading, which I thought was really fantastic. I've never listened to fully casted audiobooks before, and the quality is definitely noticeable, especially for a popular author like Lucy Foley, where their books can justify getting like a properly or high quality, I guess, audiobook with a bunch of great actors and voice actors reading these characters. Made for a great experience. I think the story itself could have been a little bit better, but with the performances and the characters are well written, it was a good time. It was a great audiobook experience, kind of like a lighter audiobook listen, because I think that's the problem too. If I'm reading something too dense in audiobook or listening to something too dense, it makes it more difficult. And the one thing I hate is having to rewind audiobook because I wasn't paying attention, and then I end up liking the book rather than my own attention span. So take with that what you will, but I enjoyed it. Die with Zero. I don't really talk a lot about the finance books I read, but occasionally I like to dabble in that area. As a quick thing, it's basically like, it's a good companion piece to the book Your Money or Your Life, where that's like about how to achieve financial independence, not to like work until you're dead, and like saving money to make sure you have a financial independent life. This is kind of a part 2 of that, where it's like you don't want to become a miser and oversave, and there's a point of your life where you should start spending all the wealth that you've collected in your life, which is just an interesting mindset exploration thing about finance, which I find interesting, but you guys probably don't, or a lot of you probably don't. But very conversational, doesn't really get bogged down into numbers like a lot of other financial books do, or even telling you like what you should be investing in, like what kind of like savings. It doesn't really get in the weeds of that. It's more of like a help. I don't know. It's more of like a philosophy, almost like self-help book, almost. That's what I was thinking of, self-help. I was going to say help yourself book. That's not a thing. Help yourself book. It's basically self-help. But I thought it was good. Conversational in tone, quick, easy, breezy read. Actually finished that book in an entire day. In one day, I finished the entire book, is what I want to say. Good read. And then finally, When the Bow Breaks. Like I said, the review's coming out for that. Very, very enjoyable read. You'll have to watch my review for my specific thoughts on that. But I think crime books, like maybe like a little bit pulpy crime books from decades past, might be slowly becoming my jam. I think I really, really enjoyed that. I've been reading a lot more just like thriller crime stuff in general, but I thought When the Bow Breaks was a really, really enjoyable read. I thought Alex Taylor Ware is an interesting protagonist. Whether I dive deep into that series, I don't know, but it was a good read. I'm really glad that I read it, that I stuck to my guns, and that I finished it. Overall, it's a great time. And that's what I got. I want to know how's your reading going, and I want to know something. I want to ask something of the audience. In the summer, do you find that your reading speeds up or slows down? Because I thought that it would speed up because, like, you know, you're outside, you're sitting in the sun. But because I live in the city, I've actually read like a lot less because like you're just doing other things other than sitting inside all day. And I guess I've lounged a lot more in summers past than I have this year. So I feel like I've read a lot this month, but overall summer seems to be a bit of a lull. And then when it's like cold and cozy, you read more. Is that the case with everybody? I'm going to guess it is so. But let me know how your reading journey is. What are you guys reading? And also for the book of the month for August has been picked, and it will be revealed in a future video of what we're going to read in August. But let me know, what are your must-read books? I have lost all of the old ones, so if you want to repeat yourself, it would be appreciated. I have August. I need future months. If this is your reputation staking book, maybe you have a new one. We can do repeats, guys, if you've already been chosen in a month past. But I want to know, what can I put to the test? I want some great recommendations. We're still going to be working through this shelf, and I'll go over what we're going to tackle in the month of August. But I need these recommendations, and I'm going to repeat that a lot in the videos to come. But that's all I got for you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like the video and you want to see more like in the future. And as always, thank you for sticking around.